Hi there, my name is Simon Lasserre, and I'm the Pastoral Associate at Emmanuel Anglican Church and the Refinery Arts and Spirit Centre in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. Today, I'm here to talk with you about spiritual health during the pandemic. As I've been talking with people, many are expressing feelings of uncertainty, feelings of being in limbo, and a great sense of being unsettled. From my perspective, none of this is surprising. In a time when our world seems to be falling apart, it is little wonder that people are experiencing these feelings. But how do we engage them healthily and productively? In a previous video, I talked about how building our awareness can give us choices about how we respond to life. Today, I want to talk about something different. Specifically, I want to talk about the expectations we have for our lives. I call our expectations projections. I call them this because we project our expectations onto the people and situations we encounter daily. So, if I'm meeting a friend for coffee, I have certain expectations about what will happen. I know my friend, at least I think I do, and my hope is to enjoy them the way I always do, sharing jokes and stories, maybe shedding a tear or two depending on what we're living through. I have all these expectations because I've shared a relationship with this person over many years. I feel I know them because we've had so many experiences together. But what happens if I discover something that is not consistent with how I know my friend? What if I discover something that makes me feel like my friend is not the person I thought they were? Obviously, this can be very unsettling. I could begin to question my friend's honesty. I could feel angry, resentful, and hurt because of them. But then I could also question myself. I could ask myself, how could I have been so stupid? To think this person was really like this all along. Why didn't I see it? What kind of person am I that I was taken in by them? Am I really that gullible? Then you could start having difficulty trusting. Trust with that friend is probably broken, but you could also find it difficult to trust yourself. It's like you can't trust your ability to see people for who they really are. It's like your entire sense of self becomes insecure. How can you move through life if you doubt your ability to read reality accurately? Well, there's some good news and bad news in this. The good news is you're not alone. All of us project expectations onto reality that may or may not be true. In fact, this is how we get through life. To live our lives, we need to expect at least some stability. But the bad news is that when we are too attached to our expectations, how will we respond when they inevitably get undermined or questioned, as they always do eventually? What is a spiritually healthy way to respond when our expectations are not met and perhaps even deeply disappointed? Part of the answer is to nurture within ourselves something I call openness. Openness is related to the awareness that I talked about in the last video. But unlike awareness, openness involves learning from your tendencies to project expectations on your life. In short, openness is the capacity to reflect upon your actions, attitudes, and perceptions honestly and deeply. So, in a situation where your impressions of another person have changed, you might ask yourself, what was it about that person that led me to believe what I believed about them? Were there signs I saw but chose to ignore that might have clued me into who that person really is? Why did I choose to ignore these things? What was it about me that needed to believe what I believed about this person? By nurturing within yourself not only the capacity to ask these questions, but also the capacity to receive whatever your responses might be, you can begin the work of transformation. Initially, this work might make you feel very uncomfortable, but this too requires a certain amount of openness. Sometimes simply sitting with your discomfort can produce deep learning. I'll be talking more about this kind of learning in a future video. For the time being, it is worth noting that we ignore our darker sides and our disappointments to our peril. This is why people who are open to themselves and others are desperately needed in our times. The world desperately needs people who are able to listen deeply to feelings of anger, frustration, and despair. But to do this, we must first be able to hear and perceive these things from ourselves. During this November and next January, Emmanuel Anglican and the Refinery Arts and Spirit Center will be offering a 7-session online course on spiritual health in partnership with Queen's House Retreat and Renewal Center here in Saskatoon. During this course, we'll be exploring these topics deeply so participants can experience a greater measure of spiritual health by the time the course ends. To find out more about this course, please click on the link found below this video. Whether you choose to join us for the course or whether you're simply content to view these videos, I wish you well during this uncertain and unsettled time. I'm Simon Lasserre, and I look forward to talking with you again about spiritual health during the pandemic.